Welcome back to Colonel D Gourmet's Urban Spices. So today the theme is gourmet cooking made easy. This is not going to be a thing of technique. This is going to be more of a theory on a base that you can take amazing flavors and apply them to simple meals. So today we're going to do French toast. We're going to do a creme brulee French toast with using our cinnamon orange sugar, a little bit of bourbon vanilla, and I'm going to be using a nice cream cheese frosting with a nice raspberry preserve. Real simple, but when we combine it together, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So getting started with the French toast, I've already added 4 eggs, and I took a liberty to incorporate the cinnamon orange sugar, and that was going to be about 1/4 of a cup. So I'm just going to add the remainder of this 1/4 of the cup, 1/2 cup of milk, whisk this around. I'm going to add 2 more eggs just so we got in there. Add a little bit more thickness. You can smell the cinnamon sugar. It just smells absolutely amazing. One thing you always want to do when you're cracking an egg, make sure you do it on a flat surface. You have a lesser chance to crack the yolk, and you don't want to get that everywhere. It's just too messy, and that's the last thing you want to do is worry about. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I can got a lot of froth in here, and that's going to make sure I keep it nice and airy. Don't want it too thin, just nice and smooth. So now I'm going to add my vanilla. And this vanilla is produced down in Louisville, Kentucky, and is produced with old bourbon barrels. And I'm going to use about 2 teaspoons here. Amazing flavor. You get a slight hint of that bourbon flavor, but it's great for any of your baking needs. Or in this case, awesome French toast. So usually when I'm doing this, I'm going to make a nice custard base, so in order to do a creme brulee. But this is pretty much all hard work out. You can actually get this incorporated by using a little more of an egg yolk and heating it, but let's just say keeping it easy today. So next thing you want to do is take your favorite style bread. I personally like white bread or brioche. That's my personal favorites. And what we're going to do, we're going to let this soak. A lot of times people will just go in, flip, and then pull it out on the grill. No, you gotta let it soak. And this is going to make sure it's going to get nice and rich. Now when I'm doing this at home, I like to put a little bit of crust on here. I'll take some Frosted Flakes or whatever cereal I have in the pantry, and I'll make a crust out of that, and it's just absolutely delicious. So I'm making sure this is well rotated, and then when when it's going to be completely immersed and it's going to be completely soaked up, is the point where you're going to have to lift with 2 hands to make sure it's nice and stable. Now I'm going to use one of my favorite styles of butter. It's a good French butter that you can get here at Jungle Jim's. Get this on my griddle. You can use a skillet, cast iron, whatever you want to do. But the real trick is you just want to make sure that it's covered. You want to make the heat is not too hot, because a lot of people cook with this extreme heat. But you find that you can have so much more control when it's at a lower temperature. So the key thing with gourmet cooking is that you're going to be layering flavors. So that's why we're doing this custard base. We're going to be building more flavors. I'm adding a lot more stuff to it, and that's how I'll give you the whole composition, the whole feel. Now sometimes you'll see people doing infusions or anything along the lines of that, but it's just almost having a playful mind. Okay. Got 1 piece down. Two pieces down. Now I'm going to let this go. I'm going to basically make sure I got some caramelization on both sides right here. And that's that browning kind of this whole scenario. And I'm going to let my nose kind of do the final testing to make sure that everything is really good. So I'm going to check underneath every once in a while, but it's going to take about, I would say, 3 to 5 minutes just for one side. And then about another, say, 3 minutes on the other side, just to make sure it's well done. Because you don't want a soggy middle. But if you do this, combine it with maybe some bacon gelato ice cream in between that stuff, Put some Nutella to fill it. I mean, it's just gonna be really, really good. So this is a nice way to really impress your friends or your family and kind of show them what's up. All right, so now I'm checking the middle, checking the corners, and it looks like it's time to flip. So you want to get it underneath there. Sometimes you can use your knife or a spoon. I'm going to use a spoon in this case, just so I got the full bread on there. And then one swift, quick motion, flip it. One thing I like to do, make sure I check up all the sides, make sure I'm not going to have anything sticking. And this is going to help out with the presentation's sake. When you're doing anything with the presentation, you want to make sure that the side that you put down first is your presentation side. That's the one that you want to make sure looks the best. And that's kind of one of the little things that they always tell you in culinary school. So now I got some great caramelization, great flavor going on right there. So while this is finishing up, this is going to go for about another 3 to 5 minutes. Just because this is a nice grill, but if you're doing like a cast iron or if you're using gas heat, it's going to cook a little bit faster. So I'm getting my cream cheese frosting that I made up, which is just a little bit of that bourbon vanilla, a pound of cream cheese, and some confectionery sugar. Real simple, mix it, it's delicious. Pair it with some bananas, some blueberries, do strawberries, whatever you want to do, and it's absolutely delicious. So what you can do to make this even more fancy, is you can just put it in a Ziploc bag. And what I'm going to do now is I want to cut the edge of this. So now I have a piping bag. So I can basically take this, twist it, and then pipe it right into whatever I want to. Now if we go back over to this French toast, it looks awesome. It's getting real puffy and it's looking great. It's doubled in size as it is. So you can see when you fully immerse it, let it soak, it's going to expand. It's going to be, make one meal turn into 2. So right now, I'm going to go ahead, pipe in some of this cream cheese frosting. And what I'm doing with this, I'm turning it. I'm making sure that I'm turning this bag around just so I have a constant pressure and a constant flow come out. Decrease my heat. Check underneath and see how we're going. I think it looks great. So what I'm going to do now, take this, put it on top. I'm going to let this melt down. I'm going to move this over here. So this is the point where you can add that a little bit of additional flavor. I like to spread this around a little bit, but I got the red raspberry preserves. You can do black raspberry, and this is the point where you have that toast, that nice crust. You're going to get this glazed down. I'm going to use these spoons. You're going to make a nice little swirl behind here. Just pretty much just paint it on. Serve this with nice little fruit salad and you're set. You can get this and many more ideas over here at Colonel D Gourmet Herbs and Spices, either down at Finley Market or over here at Jungle Gyms. And it's been a pleasure cooking with you today. My name is Alex Cunningham. I'll see you next time.